The Game That Killed Its Player. Episode 2, Story 1. The Fatal Bet. In the heart of California in 2013, Ethan and his best friend James were avid players of Fortnite. The game's appeal wasn't to just the gameplay, it was the money they could make from it. Ethan, in particular, became obsessed with winning tournaments and making a name for himself. However, the competitive nature of the game began to take over his life, and the pressure of winning grew heavier with every passing day. One evening, Ethan and James made a bet. The first one to win a Fortnite tournament would receive a substantial amount of money from the other. It started as a fun challenge, but soon Ethan became so focused on winning that he neglected everything else: his studies, his job, and even his social life. The more he played, the more his obsession grew. Over the course of several weeks, Ethan and James battled their way through various tournaments, each one more difficult than the last. The pressure mounted, and with each loss, Ethan's mental health deteriorated. He started withdrawing from everyone around him, consumed by his need to win. His friends noticed the change in him, but it was too late. The final tournament arrived. Ethan's hands were shaking as he entered the competition, determined to win. As the game progressed, it became evident that he was on the verge of victory. However, in a shocking twist, Ethan collapsed from a stroke right in the middle of the final round. His body had been pushed too far, the stress and the constant gaming having taken a devastating toll on his health. He passed away before he could claim his prize. Ethan's death shocked the gaming community and his friends. The investigation revealed that his obsession with winning and his physical decline due to constant gaming were the direct causes of his fatal stroke. The bet, which seemed harmless at first, had become a deadly obsession. Ethan's story is a tragic reminder of how far a game can push someone when the pressure to win becomes too great. Story 2. The Hacked Life. In the UK, in 2017, Lily, a 16-year-old girl, became a victim of a terrifying incident involving an online game called Second Life. The game is a virtual world where players can create avatars, live out alternate lives, and interact with others in a completely immersive environment. Lily had always enjoyed spending time on Second Life, but never anticipated how far things could go. Lily's avatar in the game had become well known in the community. She had gained a large following for her social presence, and her virtual life was far more exciting than her real one. One evening, Lily received an anonymous message from another player offering her a special in-game item in exchange for a private session with him. At first, she was hesitant, but the offer seemed harmless. What Lily didn't know was that the player behind the screen was a hacker. He had been watching her every move in the game and had used his technical skills to manipulate her virtual world. After accepting the private session, Lily's avatar was transported to a secluded, eerie virtual space. The hacker used his abilities to exploit her character, forcing her to perform actions against her will, all while Lily's real-life anxiety grew. Terrifyingly, the hacker didn't stop at just controlling her avatar. As Lily tried to log out, she realized that her personal information had been compromised. The hacker gained access to her private life, including her phone number, address, and photos. He had infiltrated not only her virtual existence, but her real one. For weeks, Lily lived in constant fear, afraid the hacker would show up at her doorstep. Eventually, Lily's parents discovered what had happened. The hacker was eventually caught, but the psychological damage was already done. Lily couldn't escape the trauma of being stalked by someone in both the virtual and real worlds. Her addiction to Second Life became an obsession, but now it was filled with fear and anxiety. She struggled to trust people online again and was left haunted by the events that unfolded. Lily's case highlighted the dark side of virtual worlds and online gaming. It served as a warning about the dangers of trusting strangers in the digital realm and the emotional and psychological toll such experiences can have. Story 3. The Fatal Challenge. In South Korea, where online gaming is a national pastime, Hye-jin, a 25-year-old woman, participated in a popular mobile game called PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, PUBG. PUBG had become a worldwide phenomenon, attracting millions of players, and Hye-jin was no exception. Her social circle was centered around her gaming team, and she spent most of her time playing to improve her skills and ranking. One evening, after a particularly challenging game, Hye-jin's team members challenged her to a one-on-one duel. The stakes were high. If she lost, she would be kicked out of the team. The duel was meant to be a friendly competition, but the pressure was immense. Hye-jin had invested so much time into the game and her team that losing was unthinkable. The duel began, and for the first few minutes, Hye-jin dominated the game. She was on fire, her every move calculated, her reflexes sharp, but then something unexpected happened. Her internet connection suddenly dropped. She tried to reconnect, but the game had already moved on, and she had lost. Her team, shocked by her failure, swiftly voted to remove her from the group. Hye-jin was devastated. The loss triggered an emotional breakdown. She was unable to accept that a simple game could destroy everything she had worked for. Feeling rejected and worthless, Hye-jin spiraled into a depression. In a desperate attempt to escape her feelings of failure, she attempted suicide. Fortunately, she was found in time and rushed to the hospital. Hye-jin's story became a topic of national conversation. Her story highlighted the dangers of online gaming's pressure to succeed and the impact it could have on a person's mental health. While gaming can be a fun and engaging activity, it can also create toxic environments where success is everything. For Hye-jin, the price of losing was far greater than anyone could have anticipated. Conclusion. In these 3 stories, we've seen the devastating effects that video games can have on a person's life. From fatal bets to psychological trauma, these stories are painful reminders of how an obsession with gaming can go too far. The dark side of gaming often goes unspoken, but as we've seen, the consequences can be severe. These players, once immersed in their virtual worlds, lost everything, sometimes even their lives. Video games can be a source of entertainment, but they can also become a dangerous addiction when not kept in balance. End of episode 2.